Hello, everybody. My name is Mitchel Williams. I'm with Lee County Cooperative Extension. And today I'm here at White Hill Farms with Anna Jackson. Anna, can you introduce yourself and what you got going on here?
Yeah. Hi, my name's Anna. I am part of the family here at White Hill Farms. My dad started the farm back in 1987. And I am now 24 years old, have grown up on the farm, and have since built a different aspect of the farm past what Dad founded when he started. In the recent years, we've grown into strawberries, asparagus, tomatoes, watermelons, cantaloupes, cucumbers, squash, pumpkins, sweet corn. We've grown into a wide range of produce. This year in 2020, I built a produce stand. So we've really expanded, really pushed, and just adding a different aspect to the farm besides just tobacco or hay or corn or soybeans or beef cows or something like that. We decided to add into a part that we can help be local and be here to support our community.
Okay, well, y'all got a lot going on here. So,
Yes.
What came first? What did y'all first start growing? Was it tobacco?
My dad, he's always been a tobacco farmer. The Jacksons have always grown tobacco. He always helped his uncles grow tobacco. That was kind of his first go-to crop. However, he built 2 poultry houses in 1987. He built them in 1987 after he graduated from NC State. And from then to now, we've grown to 10 poultry houses. We've since gotten out of the tobacco business due to the markets, but we have also expanded into produce. My brother grows deer corn. We've got some beef cows. We grow hay, and mainly the produce. So that's kind of the way we've expanded. But we still have all 10 chicken houses, and we still that's what kind of we founded on. But we've just kind of diversified into a couple of other things.
Oh, y'all are busy.
Yeah,
Y'all are really busy.
a lot going on.
Yeah. So what have we got going on here? What's this?
So these are our strawberries. This year on the farm, we've got 3 acres. We started off in 2017 was our first crop of strawberries. My dad literally woke up one day and he was like, "Hey, Anna, I had a dream that we grew strawberries last night." And I was like, "Really? That's kind of an odd dream." He was like, "You want to do it?" And I was like, "Sure, let's, go for it." I decided to come back to the farm to help. Let's expand and do a little more. So we put in 1 acre of strawberries our first year. Now we're up to 3. But these are our strawberries. So we actually plant our strawberries in the month of October. When we plant them in October, they get a little bit of growth on them going into the wintertime, not a whole lot. And then they actually go dormant in the wintertime. So these strawberry plants we planted a week ago, which was October 22nd. So they've had some warm weather these past couple of days. They've got a little bit of new growth. They've kind of really set their roots. They've got really good growth on them going into the wintertime. So they will go dormant, and these guys will wake up in February or March when we get our first real warm spell. So for now, we're just worried about getting our roots set, a good solid foundation to go into the wintertime to survive the winter. And then come February, March, we will kick up the fertilization. We will kick up the row covering. We will really push them to get to where we want to be come April.
Well, tell me what you got going on here in these pipes. What's this?
These pipes right here, these are actually how we water and fertilize our strawberries. This is called drip irrigation. We use this method of irrigation, one, because it conserves water tremendously. We're just not pumping water out and throwing water everywhere. The tape goes through this. This is what we call the strawberry bed. So this tape goes through the bed and it all stays controlled in there. So that's how we water, because like I said, it's controlled. We also can fertilize that way. It's also controlled, and it's just a lot more efficient way to really get what you need right there at your plants.
Well, is it all one variety, or are you growing multiple varieties of strawberries?
This year we have 3 varieties. The first year we started, when we had our 1 acre of strawberries, we had 4 different varieties. That was because it was our first year. We wanted to see what sold best here, what our market wanted. We really explored. Decided, and actually I'm only growing one of the original varieties we started out with. So I kick it off with Sweet Charlies. They're an early variety. They're sweet, and that's my kickoff to the beginning of the year. And now we have 3 varieties. So now we're going to come in with Camino Reals and Ruby Gems. So that's my 3 varieties that I have this year. They They sell the best. They market the best. They're big. They're red. They're juicy. They taste good, and they have a great shelf life.
So Anna, we've come across the road here, and we're coming to the pumpkins. Can you tell us a little bit about your pumpkin operation?
Yeah, so in previous years, like I said, we started with just the strawberries. This year, since we opened our new produce stand, we decided we were going to go through pumpkin season this year and through to November. So we really pushed our pumpkins this year. Previously, in years past, we've just kind of put them under the shelter, and it's kind of been an honor system thing. But this year, we really pushed our pumpkins. We ended up growing 20 acres of pumpkins this year. That's anything from the decoratives to the big orange ones that you carve for Halloween. So we really went all out this year because we were open and we were here. So I felt like it would be a different year for that. But we only have a little pumpkin patch that you can pick in. We don't really have the hay rides and all that. But we decided to go for it this year since we were going to be here, and it's actually turned out to be really great. So.
Think you'll do 40 acres of pumpkins next year?
No, probably not. We are probably going to expand from this little patch right here to next door to us to the bigger field right beside us. And we're probably going to expand into that. Couple ideas for next year, but there's always room to grow and always room for improvement. So you live and you learn every year.
What's the biggest pumpkin you've grown?
The biggest pumpkin that I've personally grown, my best guess, is going to be about 60, 70 pounds.
That's pretty big.
Somewhere
pumpkin
in there, which is pretty big. But back in the spring and back in the summertime, we actually had a 65-pound watermelon. So not to brag on that too, but we can grow pretty big watermelons too.
That's a big watermelon.
Yeah.
So Anna, I get a question a lot. Is there any specific variety of pumpkin that's better for a jack-o'-lantern?
Well, what we grow for jack-o'-lanterns are called Howdens. They're kind of a big, kind of a slick skin pumpkin. They've got a really nice big stalk on them. And I think the stalk really helps make a good pumpkin. When you got the nice big thick stalk and then a good smooth skin to do some carving with, it just makes it look all the more better.
Well, okay, I'm switching gears on you a little bit. So I mean, y'all got a pretty good stand of pumpkins considering it's almost Halloween.
Yeah.
Is it for you? What's better, a drier year or a rainy year?
For pumpkins, I'm going to go with a rainy year. The reason I'm going to go that route is because when they are blooming and making, that's when you're going to make or break. Like this year, we had a really wet year during the month of July when these guys were blooming and making and setting for the pumpkins. So it was great weather for the pumpkins. So we had a great pumpkin year just because it was a wet year. When you have a dry year, you're likely to get half the stand of pumpkins you would get during a wet year. So it's all about the blooming process and that stage of the plant's life where you really make it or don't. And that's the most crucial part. So I'm going to go with a wet year for pumpkins. But for strawberries, a wet year is really not your friend because when your fruit's ready to be picked and it gets rain, it rots in the field or it doesn't have half the shelf life in your refrigerator just because of all the wetness. So wet years are good for some things, bad for some things. Dry years are good for some things, bad for some other things. So it's really depending on the crop. But for the pumpkins, I'm going to go wet. For the strawberries, I'm going to say a dry year.
Okay. Well, another question I get, you're talking about blooming. Do you need to pluck some of the flowers on the pumpkin plant?
No, we don't do that. Not unless some people use pumpkin blossoms to cook with. Not unless we have a special request for something like that. But other than that, no.
So we walked around and looked a little bit in your fields. Mm-hmm. Well, where can we buy your produce?
So this is the new stand that I built this year. We started grade work in January and had it up for strawberry season. So I built a 42 by 80. I did a front porch. I did a retail space inside. And in the back, I did a packing and washing facility. So we're all under one roof. No matter rain or shine, hurricanes, cold weather, you can come inside and it's nice and comfortable. That just made for a better shopping experience for everybody. So that, and actually we built this place this year and we actually got GAP certified, which means that we're certified for good agricultural practices. We're clean, we understand how to keep clean produce and how to, and that was a big deal this year with everything going on. So that really made me feel better about the situation, and I think made our customers feel better about the whole situation, that we do understand food safety and we work hard on food safety, because not only do y'all eat it, but we eat it as well. So that was a really big thing that I was really excited to do this year, because I think it, as a general, it made everybody feel a little more comfortable.
So what all are you selling this time of year?
So this time of year, we've got things like collards, turnip greens, our sweet potatoes. We've got pumpkins. We also have some other value-added things like canned goods. So all the extra strawberries and stuff we have in the springtime, we can and make them into jams, jellies, and that's something you can kind of have all year long. We also brought in some different things like some side meats, some apple ciders. We also have Ash County cheese and food cheese. We carry those items. So just a little bit of variety for people. We do also still have fresh local produce along with everything else, but just that and a couple of other value added items that we add in.
So once you graduated high school, where'd you go to college?
I moved on to CCCC. Originally thought I wanted to do dental hygiene. Observed in an office for a week or two, absolutely hated it and took a totally different route. So I decided to come back to the farm. So I actually studied business administration and accounting. So the bookwork, the bookkeeping, the record keeping, the documents, all that stuff is what I handle. And there's a lot of that goes on background from a farm that a lot of people don't see. I mean, there's a lot of days that I'll leave the regular work day here and go home and work in the office for 2 or 3 hours. It's just the constant record keeping, especially for our GAP books. We keep everything up to date, and so it's all about traceability and records and knowing what you did and knowing what happened. So that's why I did that, because we really needed somebody that could keep organized and keep that part of the farm together.
Okay. Well, where else do you sell other than your farm stand?
So the farm stand is 95% of our business. We are in farm to table CSA boxes during the season when we have extra produce for them. We also go down to the Pinehurst Farmers Market. But other than those two things, we are just exclusively right here on the farm.
So right behind your farm stand, you've got all your family poultry houses. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So the poultry houses, Dad started out with those originally. He built 2, built one more, and then built one more for our 4-house farm. 2004, we built 4 more houses, and in 2015, we built 2 more, and I told him 10 houses was enough. So now we have 10 altogether, and we grow for Purdue Farms. They're a family-owned farm and our family-owned operation. Dad has started with them. He's grown with them his whole entire poultry career. They're just a great family-oriented family business. If you see them in the grocery store, that's who we grow for. Our birds also go to sell at like Chick-fil-A's, Subway's, Zaxby's. Our company helps provide meat for all of those places. So it's really great to be able to provide in that way, because you got to eat. So, but we get them when they're little babies, and we grow them out. We keep them for 58 days. So they have a kind of a quick turnaround, but all in all, we go through 4 flocks a year. So we sell about 4 million pounds of meat a year. So that's a lot for our farm. But that helps feed a lot of people.